Hello and welcome to Build New York City. My name is Danny Clayton. I am your host today. And on the show, we have a very accomplished actress. She's been on movies and in television since she was just 11 years old. She's a Disney star, and she's also one of the main characters in the new Hulu series, Looking for Alaska. Now, before we bring her out, let's take a quick peek of the trailer.
Chip, Longwell and Kevin have something they'd like to say to you. Don't you guys?
Look, Colonel, you ratted out Paul and Maria. We retaliated.
We're even now, so truce.
Take it back. I'm not the rat.
You want to say that to my face? Because you're talking to my sternum.
Closer to your heart when I rip it out.
Oh my God, you are both so stupid, and so is this war. Enough, okay?
I'll make you a deal. You pick one dead American president. If Pudge here doesn't know his last words, truce. If he does, you spend the rest of your life lamenting the day y'all pissed in my shoes.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Your best friend is Kevin, I doubt it.
Those are the terms. Otherwise, nuts to your truce.
If you even can name a president.
A summer intern at the Carter Center sophomore year. Jimmy and Rosalind have actually been to my house for dinner. They ever been to your trailer park, Colonel?
The only Carter I acknowledge is Sean. In or out?
Fine. Whatever.
Please help me make her feel welcome. Landry Bender, everybody.
Hi, guys. Thank you.
Hello, Landry.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Loving this. So fun.
Yeah. Now you got a chance just to watch a little bit of the series. How does that make you feel when you see the
It's so
action come
crazy.
together?
Yeah, we worked on this for 5 months from March to July of this year. So it was a quick turnaround, and it feels like such a big part of our lives. So we're excited to share it next week. It's gonna be fun.
So I'm one of the fortunate people that had a chance to watch the series already.
Not a lot have. This is big stuff.
Can I just say, congratulations on starring in what is going to be a very successful show. I mean, what was it like working with that family, with that team? Tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, they're all incredible and so talented. There's literally not a weak link on that show. Everyone's so strong and such good people. We spent 5 months together, like I said, and we were in rural Louisiana. So, like, all we had to do was bond like that. Like, that's all we could do. Like, there's nothing else to do there but, like, go to Walmart and eat and bond with each other. So, yeah, it was just such a good time. And I'm just so grateful to have formed those friendships and gotten to know these awesome people. Yeah, it was just a blast all around.
So I was going to ask you, I mean, during filming, there's always a little bit of downtime. And when you're in that part of the world, what were you guys doing for fun, just to kind of break up shooting schedules?
I mean, we would go into New Orleans a lot. We were about 45 minutes outside of New Orleans. So that culture and that whole city, I'd never been there before. So I got to live there a lot of the time and practically and explore that city. So that was cool. And then we'd do really normal things. We'd go to movies. We'd go on grocery store trips. It was my first time living alone. So, like, they would, like, I'd go to the grocery store and they'd be like, okay, Landry, you do need detergent. You know that, right? Like, it was a really, it was just a normal, like, it felt like college dorm rooms almost. We were just really, growing up and getting to know each other. It was really similar to the show, the whole environment.
Sure.
So that was really cool.
I know this might be a strange question, but were you cooking for yourself?
Kind of. Like, on set, obviously, there's craft services and catering and all of that. PB&J, you know?
No, that's not
quesadillas. I can do a good quesadilla. Breakfast food. Oh, you know what I did?
Cereal does not count as cooking. We need to stop you right there.
Special K? No. I actually bought an espresso machine though at like the Bed Bath and Beyond in our area because I'm like, I need to like spice up my life. So I made iced vanilla lattes for like the whole cast. They would come upstairs with their preferred milk, like almond milk, 2%, whatever, and they'd like bring it into my apartment and I'd like make iced vanilla lattes for the whole cast.
You are so delightfully wholesome. I love that a coffee machine is your version of spicing up life.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I do.
But I really want to talk a little bit more about Looking for Alaska because I was riveted from the get-go. It was it just draws you in immediately. In fact, I'd love to wrap this up so I can go home and watch the rest of the series. Can you explain what the show is about for someone who isn't in the know?
Yeah, so the show is based off a novel by John Green, who did The Fault in Our Stars and Paper Towns and all of those. And it's very loosely based on his life story. When he was 16, he went to boarding school and had sort of just been reading and learning in his own room, but wanted to get out into the world and experience things. And there's a lot of, love and loss, and a lot of questions are asked on kind of just like first times and how you deal with things. And it's a beautiful coming of age story and like a really simple rule setting. And it's just a bunch of young people sort of having to ask themselves questions and deal with things for the first time.
Yeah, did you read the book? Or?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you first found out that you had the role, where were you? What was that like?
So of the 10 series regulars, I was the last one cast. So it was a week before I was supposed to leave. And I have not had my driver's license for that long, but I was driving to pick up my Levi's that I had altered. And so I was like in LA traffic. I was like getting this conference call. I'm like, I gotta try to be professional. I kind of like had the gist of what was going on, but I'm like, I need to pull over the car. Hold on, this is exciting, but like give me a second. So it was very hectic.
Yeah.
But I was just really grateful. I think like this was exactly the kind of project that I've been wanting to do for a really long time. So
I mean, your character Sarah, the moment you're on screen, you basically burst in with some rather incendiary language. It's really great to see you tackle a role which is very different to the other roles that you've had. So what was that like for you to play a character like Sarah? Yeah,
it was exciting. She also has a really cool arc throughout the series. You sort of meet her, and she is this upper class, sort of sheltered girl in this bubble who doesn't really know anything different than her life and her family. But she's in this relationship with Chip, who has grown up completely opposite of her, but mentally they're on such a similar wavelength. And you see her sort of interact with people who are different than her and haven't had the same, growing up as her. And she sort of has to figure out where she's going to fit in the world and, where her place is.
I mean, I haven't known you very long, but you seem to be very sweet.
She's not. She's a firecracker for sure.
Sarah's not sweet.
Yeah.
My
dad watched the show and he's like, I don't like you. And I'm like, Landry. I'm Landry. I'm fine.
Okay, so do you think that Sarah could be a bad influence on you?
No. And like I said, I think you watch the rest of the series and you see some humility and heart. But what I love is zero of these characters are perfect. You see a lot of flaws in every single one of them. They're all very layered and multidimensional. And we all had 2 weeks of rehearsal to literally sit down and figure out all of their psychology and where they sit on different things. And we wanted to make sure none of them are they all can be role models, but the reason they're role models is because they're all flawed and they're all really young and trying to figure themselves out.
Yeah.
So I hope you see a little bit of heart throughout it. That was my goal.
Well, I mean, your dad wasn't impressed by Sarah. He's quite disappointed to see you so mean.
Right.
But what about your mum? Because your mum is here.
She is. She's in the back over there.
Your mum is hiding in the back of the room.
She's like, I gotta stay back here.
What did your mum say when she first saw the show?
She was excited. She was really excited. It was cool. They sent us all the episodes a month ago, and we all got to watch them and show our families. And I think, my parents are super proud. She loved the wardrobe. My character wears the whole show takes place in 2005, so she wears a ton of Ralph Lauren and Tommy Hilfiger, and it's just classic preppy Southern 2005. Yeah. So she loved that.
So do you get to keep the clothes?
No. She has this really flashy Louis Vuitton purse. It's cream with the rainbow Louis Vuitton logo all over it. I was I just want to display that in my room, but no.
So it's interesting when you talk about John Green. Yeah. Obviously, Fault in My Stars. What is it called?
Fault in Our Stars.
Yeah. Incredible book. And also, this was a bestseller in 2005. But he was talking about growing up and escaping one part of his life. It seems like your life is incredibly packed full of acting and television shows and movie shows, and you seem to have been working for that whole teenage experience that a regular person might have. So are you worried that you might miss out on some of the experiences that...
I mean, I definitely have missed out on a lot, but I think that I wouldn't have it any other way. I've wanted to act and perform since I was 5 years old. I've never wanted to do anything else. So I think that, if I would have had it the other way, I feel like I would have gone through my teenage years just wanting to do this so bad. So I'm so grateful that I got to do it from such a young age. So yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way. Prom, things like that I didn't get to experience, but at the same time, like I was making lattes with these people, like that was okay. So yeah, I mean, you lose out on some things, but you gain, so many amazing experiences, and I wouldn't have had it any other way.
Because I hear that you're in college, kind of.
I take college classes.
You take college classes. You're art history.
I do some of that. Yeah, okay. Psychology. I'm kind of doing like generals right now, and then I'll figure it out. But the cool thing about this job is, you get to take on so many different kinds of people. So I felt like I hadn't learned enough, and I wanted to be as worldly as possible. I don't know. Yeah.
How are you going in school? Are you?
I'm
are you studying?
Good.
Are you studying, Landry?
I have some stuff due this week I need to do. But yeah, it's difficult balancing the two things. But at the same time, I grew up going to school on set and working with studio teachers and stuff like that. So I kind of had to learn time management. So I sort of just like transferred that into the college life.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, because like I go back to when I was your age, and I think about all the things that were a priority to me.
Yeah.
It's like just hanging out with my friends, finding a girlfriend.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have time for your relationships?
No, I've never had a boyfriend. But we'll get there. Yeah, I mean, all that stuff's important, but at the same time, it's just another priority to have is my job, and it's one of the main ones. And yeah, like I said, like my work was the first love of my life, and it's so important to me. But everything else is too, friends, family, all of that stuff. But yeah, it's just like having people who love their work are really lucky, and I just was lucky to find that at a young age.
Yeah, I mean, from what I understand is that you were bitten by the acting bug when you saw Annie. Is that true?
You research.
I do.
Look at you.
What was it about Annie that stood out for you?
Yeah, my mom took me to see Annie. It was touring around the country, and I lived in Arizona at the time. And we went and saw it, and afterwards I'm like, I want to do that. She's like, okay. And I just like wouldn't bother her. I'm like, no, really, like that looks really fun. So I started doing community theater at a theater called Desert Stages Theater in Arizona. And I did that and just like was the first one to get there and the last one to leave.
Okay.
Yeah. It was
but you actually you got a chance to play in Annie.
Yeah, I did. I was like one of the orphans in it when I was about 7 or 8. Yeah, it was just one of those things, and then it just transferred into all of the stuff.
Yeah.
But sports was not my thing.
Okay.
Soccer, I played for like 6 years, didn't score a goal once. Like, it was just not my thing.
Yeah.
I'd be like cheerleading on the side, all my teammates, and that was about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it seems like you are just born to be an actor.
I guess so.
Actress.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that first role on a big screen being alongside Jonah Hill,
Right.
which is exciting, The Sitter.
Yeah.
Can you take us back to that first on-set experience
Yeah,
for you? What was that like?
I actually shot it here in New York.
Oh, wow.
We shot here for 4 months, and that was the first thing I'd ever done. I was only 10 years old, and it basically the whole movie shot in one night. So we had a lot of night shoots, and it was me and 2 13-year-old boys, and they played my brothers, and he basically babysat us, and we went on a wild ride through New York. It was really fun, and he was great. David Gordon Green directed, who does a lot of amazing work, and I got to improv a ton, which was cool from a young age. It was just an amazing first experience, and still like one of the favorite sets I've ever worked on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved that.
And it's interesting watching your progression as you started working with Disney, and you're looking at those roles, which I guess would garner a very young fan base. So how do you feel about your young fan base watching a character like Sarah?
Right.
You know? Is that nerve-wracking to see them, let them see you grow?
A little bit, but at the same time, I am growing, and so are they, and that's super cool. I think it's a really natural transition, which was awesome. and even like The Sitter, as you were saying, like that was definitely an R-rated crazy movie that that they most likely didn't watch. Maybe they did. I don't know. I just want to do everything and do all different kinds of roles, but I hope they enjoy it. I think it's a really true telling story, and it's really accurate of a lot of teenagers even today, even though the show takes place in 2005. But yeah, I mean, I'm growing. They are too. I hope they love it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, we were talking about some of your earlier roles.
Yeah.
One thing I found quite amazing is that you in that show, Best Friends Whenever.
Yes.
You've already experienced a season finale so young, and there's this one
Right.
photo of you where you're hugging all of your friends and cast members
Yeah.
and people from the crew, and it was really touching to see you experience something that seemed emotionally overwhelming. What was that like to say goodbye to that family?
Yeah.
What was that like?
I mean, Disney Channel was my high school experience.
Yeah.
Which was really special to get to be in an ensemble cast and lead a show at such a young age, and have producers trust me and get to like sit in a writer's room and listen to ideas and pitch ideas and give my opinion. That's really rare with anyone, especially someone who's 14.
Yeah.
So that was really special. And that set, they were really trusting of me, and to bring heart and to, address kids at such a young age. Yeah, it was special. It was really, really special. And I think I learned a lot about, it was a multi-camera comedy, but I learned a lot about timing and just a lot of life lessons that transfer into not only my work, but my personal life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my acting friends said that they are just a sum of their life experiences when it comes to acting.
Yeah.
And that they felt like they need to experience a lot of the world to be a good actor.
Yeah.
Are there things that you would like to go and experience and go to bring a little bit more gravity or knowledge to you acting?
Of course. I think that's the most important thing, like to be able to go out in the world and experience things and, talk to people and travel, and it only makes you a better actor. I talked to a director once, and he's like, all Meryl Streep does is observe people. He's like, she could literally like play a 45-year-old male soccer coach, like it's something so like different from herself because she has observed that. And I just think observing and learning and growing. I mean, I want to do a lot of things. Traveling's super important to me. Education, college. I just think constantly learning is really, really important. Yeah.
So you mentioned Meryl Streep. Do you have mentors? Are there actresses or actors that you look up to and would like to mimic or to be like?
Yeah, I love her. I've always loved Julie Andrews. One of my first favorite movies was The Sound of Music. I watched it like 150 times, like every night before I went to bed. I love Lin-Manuel Miranda. I say that in like every interview. Just what he did with Hamilton and everything he does, he's a genius. I have so many. Neil Patrick Harris is a big one, just because he can do everything. Betty White has worked like her whole life, so I love her. I'm loving Ben Platt right now. I just finished The Politician. Yeah, a ton of people.
Yeah. Is there someone that you would just die to work with? Someone that would your number one?
Yeah, I mean all of those people.
Yeah.
Gosh. Yeah,
I know
definitely.
it's a tricky question.
I mean, everyone. All of those people I adore. Emma Stone's another big one.
Oh, yeah.
Her and I are actually from the same place in Arizona. So we have, like, mutual people who kind of... I don't know Emma Stone, but I'm just saying, like, there's some, like, mutual family friends there. I'd love to work with her. She's super talented.
I think Jesse Eisenberg is coming in, like, really soon.
Really?
You talk to him, get her
great.
number.
Yeah,
you guys should hang out.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
He's great, too. I'll add that in there. Yeah.
So I want to talk to you about music because I've seen you singing and you've got some golden pipes, my dear.
Whatever.
No, it's true.
Thank you.
Is that something that you would consider, making music?
I go back and forth on it. I think when I was on Disney Channel, I had like a very specific sound that I wanted to kind of keep to myself, so I was kind of scared of expressing it then. But I do songwrite a lot. I play guitar. So it's definitely something I do. I don't know if it scares me to call myself a singer. I'm kind of like right now comfortable with like an actress who sings. I would love to do that in films and shows and everything. But yeah, I mean, maybe I'll release music at some point. I think it's a cool concept because I'm used to playing other people, so to be able to tell my own story would be really cool.
Yeah.
But I'm still very like trepidatious about it. Is that the word? Like, kind of, yeah.
Oh, well, did I see you on stage with a rock band? Did I see you singing on stage?
I have a lot
with
of musician friends.
Okay.
And I was actually, some of them were just in town. I went and saw their show. Probably. Yeah, I have a lot of like musician singer friends, and they're super cool. So they all influenced me a lot.
What band was that? Who were you up on stage with?
I think it might have been Forever in Your Mind, who one of the members of it was on Best Friends Whenever, so that would have made sense. Yeah, that was a few years ago. That was fun. I don't know, I just... yeah, I have singer friends who inspire me in that way, and they're like, Landry, you sing, like sing. I'm like, we'll see.
Okay.
I'll get there.
I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing your music career pop up as well.
Whatever.
Now, we do have some questions coming in on Twitter. Someone said, Landry, what fashion trends are you into right now? Because...
Can I just say, this is my publicist's baby.
Oh, wow.
Love that. Hi, Erica. She's in the audience backstage. She's literally like, I'm going to send in a question. I'm calling her out. Right now, I would say I'm very into like the 60s vibe. I'm wearing this right now. I love, like, Audrey Hepburn's a big inspiration for me, so I love, like, those kind of classic looks. Yeah, fashion trends. I love barrettes. I have, like, a lot of those, like, kind of pearl barrettes that I love sort of accessorizing with, and hats always. Yeah.
Awesome. We actually have some questions from the crowd as
Love
well. One at the back there.
Hi, Landry.
Hi.
I love you so much.
Thank you.
I just wanted to ask, so what was your favorite scene in Best Friends Whenever?
Ooh, favorite scene. We did a lot of fun stuff on there. The show was basically about two teenage girls who could time travel. So we got to explore a lot of different eras. One of them we went to the 50s, and that was super fun. And we were like the whole poodle skirts, all of that whole vibe. And I love that. And then we went to the Renaissance, and that was really cool. And we got to sword fight. And the guy who taught me how to sword fight taught Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean, which was amazing. So yeah, I think anytime we got to go to a really cool era was my favorite.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is that because you like to wear the clothes?
Yeah,
from that era?
I think so. Yeah, just the whole vibe of everything. It was a cool concept for a show because we got to explore all that.
Sword fighting, Renaissance.
You know,
sounds good to me.
Casual,
Yeah,
whatever. I was eating
casual.
turkey legs. It was great.
We've got another question from the back again.
Hi, Landry.
Hi.
What's your favorite part about playing Sarah?
Favorite part. I think it was just really cool for me to explore her arc because when I first booked the show, I only got the first 2 episodes. And so I sort of saw her as this, like, you know, one-dimensional kind of rich girl. And as much as I wanted to add more to that, I didn't really know where she was going. So once I saw, you know, the full 8 episodes and obviously a lot unfolds and she has a lot of different reactions to everything that's going on around her, I sort of got to dive into her layers and see where she was going to go and what experiences she was going to have. So I think just her overall arc and getting to see more of her as a person as she learned more about herself. Yeah, thank you.
A great question. Now, of course, we're very excited about this, but also happening this year, the season finale or the show finale of Fuller House.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
It's really cool. It's really awesome. They added me onto that show, season 3. And in a really cool way, there was a character named Gia who was on the first show, Full House, and I was her daughter, not her brother. What is my brain doing? That doesn't make any sense.
She has whiskey in that mug, everybody. I just want you to know.
Yeah, haha. Yeah, but good one. No, I got to play her daughter, and everyone on that cast is just so incredible and so welcoming. They've known each other for so long, so it's just family vibes all around. And it's such a comfort, and I'm sad it's coming to an end because I've had so much fun on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be a sad finale. We're shooting it next month.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be really sad.
I mean, it does seem to have quite a family vibe on there. Do you guys hang out after you finish shooting? Is there like do you all socialize together?
Yeah,
or does
totally.
It work for you?
Totally. I'm really close with the kids on the show, Sony and Michael. They're awesome. And you know, I've gotten to grow up with them for a few years, so that's been really cool. Just to sort of, you know, share experiences with them and hang out with them. And yeah, we are all super close. my mom Marla's great. Candace, Jody, they're all awesome. Yeah.
What can we expect from the final season? Is there
What can
anything
we
you can?
expect? I have a really emotional arc this season because my character covers up all of her hardships with sort of dry, sarcastic comedy. But you see a big shift in her life and a big change, and there's a huge episode in there where you're sort of seeing her have to tear down those layers and talk out some things that she's going through, which is cool with that show, that they get into problems that kids have and things that kids have to deal with. So I got to have a big life change in one of the episodes. So I'm excited. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it does seem like you're chasing these challenges.
I love the depth. Yeah.
As an actress. So where else would you like to go? Like, what's a role that you would just love to take on?
Yeah, I really love like something that's really psychologically challenging and getting into the depth of a person. So I'm reading scripts and looking at things now that are coming of age and that are girls who are going through hardships in their life, but also you see into that, it's not sort of like a one-dimensional thing. So anything where really you can kind of break down a person, and I love just like getting in there and exploring and all of that stuff.
Yep.
We'll see.
It's funny because you talk about your work almost like the same way that people talk about their favorite hobbies.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it doesn't really sound like work. So
It doesn't.
what are your hobbies away from acting?
Nothing.
Like,
No,
what?
I'm just kidding.
It's all acting.
That's all we're talking about. No, like I said, I love playing guitar.
Yeah.
That's a big part of my life. It's like really relaxing and fun. I have friends a lot who are actors, but we do really normal things.
Yeah.
We go on picnics and watch movies and gush about life. I love screenwriting. That's kind of like a leg of acting that I really love and want to get into more. Seeing movies, brunch I love, like really normal. I love food. Really, really average
And
things.
coffee, apparently.
So much. So many lattes every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many have you had today, man?
Only one, shockingly. How am I awake? No, I'll have like, 3 more before the day's over.
Oh, a lady of my own heart.
Perfect.
I do love
Love
my
that.
coffee. So can you tell us about any of these screenplays that
Ooh.
you've written?
Like I said, I love coming of age stories. I think it's just like the time I'm at in my life and what I know the best, because that's what I'm doing currently. So we'll see where we're going with this. I'm in the middle of writing one right now. Like I said, it's just kind of it's kind of in this world and in this vibe, and that's why I think I related to this project so much.
Yeah, I mean, so what are the books that interest you, and what are the stories
Ooh.
that interest you currently?
Yeah. Where am I at right now? I actually just read John Green's book Turtles All the Way Down,
Okay.
which I love. That came out last year. I'm reading a lot of psychology books, a lot of different things. My brain's going blank right now, but yeah, I love diving into all of that stuff.
Okay.
Books aren't coming to mind right now. I just finished The Politician. That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And before I do let you go, I mean, of course, you had your start into acting on stage and performing live. Is that something you think you'll revisit? Do you think that you'll go back to Broadway?
Oh, I would love that. I never got to do Broadway. I auditioned for Annie when I was 11 here, and that was like a big deal when that came around. But that didn't happen. But I would love that so much. I have a few friends who have done it, and they're like, it's the best experience you could ever do. So hopefully at some point I would pour my heart into that for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much,
Thank you.
Landry. It's
So
been
nice
an
meeting you.
absolute pleasure having you
Thank
on
you,
the
guys.
show.
Thank you
A big
for
round of
coming.
applause for Landry Bender. And
Awesome.
if you want to catch all her work, looking for Alaska coming out soon.